Hi guys, so today I am doing a tag video. It is the A to Z book tag, and I was tagged by Marina from A Makeshift Library, so thank you very much. A, an author that you've read the most books from. For this one, I'm gonna go with Augustin Burroughs, even though I'm not entirely sure. This is 8 of his books. Very funny guy, very tragic stories. His stories are mainly memoirs, but he has some regular novels in there as well. They're definitely for mature audiences only, but I can't tell you what to do. I started reading them when I was 14. B, best sequel ever. I'm gonna go with Unravel Me by Tahereh Mafi. I flew through this book like it was nobody's business. C, I am currently reading The Virgin Suicides by Jeffrey Eugenides. Really enjoying it. D, drink of choice when you are reading. I start out with water just because hydration. I move to coffee afterwards. If I start with the coffee, then I'll get too antsy to read. E, e-reader or physical book. I own a Kindle Paperwhite and I really like it for specific books, but I'm mainly a physical book kind of girl. F, fictional character you probably would have dated in high school. I mean, a fictional character that I would have wanted to date in high school would be Damon from the Lux series, because Damon is amazing. I also think that he's the only person that I've had a legitimate book crush on. Probably because I see him as Damon from The Vampire Diaries. H, a hidden gem book. Sorta Like a Rockstar by Matthew Quick. This is such an amazing, amazing YA contemporary book, and I cannot recommend it enough. Just read it. I got it from Book Outlet for like $2.99. It was such a good find. It's amazing. Read it. Important moment in your reading life. That's probably where's the book? When I read The Burn Journals by Brent Runyon in 8th grade. It really inspired me to read more memoirs, and it also inspired me to read more darker contemporary and to dabble more in adult fiction, even though this is young adult fiction. It sort of breaks the barrier. J, just finished The Cat's Pajamas by Ray Bradbury. Not a bad compilation of short stories. K, kinds of books that you won't read. Not to say that I wouldn't ever read this ever, I just don't generally read historical fiction. L, the longest book that you have ever read. Under the Dome by Stephen King. I have this massive chunky version. It is 1,072 pages. M, major book hangover because of. I remember that I started getting into the Lux series because I was originally in a book hangover, but it wasn't necessarily because of one book. It was just because I read a variety of books and none of them were really catching my interest. And the number of bookcases that you own. I own this one, number 1, and then I also have number 2 by my bed, and then I have books on this dresser, and then I have books on this desk. Oh, one book that you have read multiple times. Holes by Louis Satcher. You could see I have Broken the Spine. Very yellow pages. P, preferred place to read, probably my bed. It's massively dirty all the time though, and you do get antsy a while after reading in your bed, so I would say either my bed or an outdoorsy, summery place like my backyard or something. Q, a quote that inspires you / gives you all the feels from a book that you've read. This was from Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore by Robin Sloan. It is very quiet. I set my chin into my palm and count my friends and wonder what else is hiding in plain sight. I think that's such a beautiful and simple quote, and I love it out of context, but I also love it within the context because it follows through and it comes up again within the end of the book and it circles, and I love when books come together in the end. More than anything ever, and it's because of that quote, and it's just amazing. I love it. R, reading regret. I think what I regret most is not going to the library more often, especially when I started booktubing, because I have bought a lot of books that were really hyped up that I don't really have an interest in reading anymore. So I wish I had picked those up from the library instead so I could read them, and if I didn't like them, I could always bring them back to the library. S is a series that you've started and need to finish, where all the books are already out in the series. I have quite a lot of those. I'm just going to tell you about a few. The Lux series. This is the last book within the Lux series, Opposition, but I'm still on the 3rd book, which is Opal. I don't know if you could see this Gossip Girl smile, but I've only read It Had to Be You, which is the prequel, and the first 3 books in the series. I've not read the rest of them. I also need to pick up books 5 and 6 in the Scott Pilgrim series so I could complete this series. I've only read books 1 through 4. T is 3 of your all-time favorite books. The Stranger by Albert Camus, but I only like this edition. This one is translated by Stuart Gilbert, and if you read any Camus, I would highly recommend anything translated by Stuart Gilbert. Next is Dog by Daniel Pennack, and such a heartwarming book. Highly, highly recommend. I don't hear anyone talk about it ever, and it's so good. And then This Is Where I Leave You by Jonathan Trapper, which is an adult fiction that is turning into a movie. It comes out like September 16th, I believe. I am so excited for the movie. It looks so good. U, Unapologetic Fangirl for. I'm just gonna go for Damon again in the Lux series, but I could also go for Levi within Fangirl. V, very excited for this release more than all the others. I can't pick between the 2 of these, so I'm going to say the 2 of them. We have My True Love Gave to Me, which is going to be from a ton of YA authors, and I'm super excited about it because it's just a compilation of Christmas stories, and I love holiday stories. I really want the UK edition. It looks gorgeous. And I might or may not have won the Goodreads giveaway for it. I will show you the book when it comes in. I am so excited. I am also really excited for the companion graphic novel to Battling Boy, which is going to be The Rise of Aurora West. So excited. W is worst bookish habit. Probably be for me, letting people borrow my books haphazardly. I tend to get really excited that someone wants to read a book and I just hand them my book without realizing that they're probably not going to give it back. For X, it is X marks the spot. Start at the top left of your bookshelf and pick the 27th book. This one is Under Wildwood by Colin Malloy and with illustrations by Carson Ellis. This is the sequel to Wildwood, which I have not read yet, but they both look like very chunky, awesome, adventure-y middle grade books. Y is your latest book purchase. The very latest one was Seconds by Brian Lee O'Malley, which I picked up from Barnes & Noble, and it is just glorious. It looks so beautiful. So pretty. The last one is ZZZ Snatcher Book, the one that kept you up way too late. I don't really stay up late at all. I usually go to bed at like 8 at night, 10 the latest, but I started a readathon one day at midnight and I finished this book by like 2 a.m. Sold by Patricia McCormick. It is such a chilling book. It's very chilling. That's the right word for it. Highly recommend. 5 out of 5 stars. This topic isn't talked about enough. That was it. The A to Z book tag. Thank you very much for watching, and if you want to be tagged, I tag you. Hope you guys are having a great day and I will see you soon. Goodbye.